Leaders must own everything in their world. There is no one else to blame. You're responsible for everything that happens in your life. Imagine that you're walking along the street and you fall down. At the same moment, a car swerves and hits you. You somehow survived that, and when you get up, you get hit by a meteor. Now, whose fault is that? Well, obviously, common sense would tell you that it's not your fault and it's all just luck. But with this philosophy of extreme ownership, it's your fault. While that is an extreme example that you may never have to face in your life, it clearly demonstrates the kind of tenacity you need to have in order to take extreme ownership of your life. Now this book, Extreme Ownership, talks a lot about leadership, but even if you aren't in a position of leadership, I will explain to you why this idea is so powerful. I see so many people who complain every day about all the things that go wrong in their life, and I get why they do it. I do it as well. Complaining makes us feel good, it makes us feel better about the situation. But does that really solve the problem? Of course not. When you start complaining, you give up any power that you have. Your brain is a problem-solving machine, and when you show your subconscious mind that you're complaining, your subconscious mind pretty much goes, alright, he's already given up, so why come up with a solution? And when you don't complain, all this energy inside you builds up, and your brain actually starts to come up with creative solutions. That is the power of extreme ownership. Before we begin, just remember that even if you're not a leader, you can still be a leader in your own life. Every day when you wake up, you have to lead yourself through your life, through the troubles and challenges. So these principles will apply to anyone. I will now talk about 3 key points that I took away from this book. 1. Extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is the concept that you are responsible for everything that happens in your life. You get fired because of the economy, someone swerves into you on the freeway, you get bitten by a dog. It's all your fault. Now the reason you adopt this mentality is not because it is factually correct to say that it is all your fault, but because this is the most empowering state of mind that you can possibly be in. When you adopt this mentality, you're forced to dig deeper than the traditional victim mentality. That is the key to solving a lot of problems that we have in the world today. When a leader demonstrates extreme ownership, it inspires a lot of confidence in his followers. Imagine this scenario. Let's say you're working with a team of 10 people headed by one project manager. You mess up a critical part of the project and you seek help from a fellow team member before telling it to your boss. That teammate messes up even more and you end up missing your project deadline. You expect the boss to be extremely angry and you even fear losing your job. You immediately begin to count your savings and live in fear of the boss. You think in your mind that you're probably going to be fired. The entire team is called to a meeting by the executive board to find out what actually went wrong. You expect the boss to tell them everything. And guess what? He does. You and your coworker get fired and the company loses 2 precious employees and a whole lot of time and resources trying to hire new people. But there is another way this situation can play out, one where your boss applies the concept of extreme ownership. So here's how that will go. Your boss only blames himself. He says that it was his fault that the team was not comfortable sharing their failures with him. If only he had made you guys feel more comfortable, you would have talked to him. He tells the management that he will make sure that this never happens again. The management accepts his explanation and you fix your mistakes and get back to work. You go on to become very high-performing employees for the company. And this is the difference between blaming someone and taking extreme ownership. A leader is responsible for everyone that he is leading. Every mistake is his, and he accepts responsibility for everything. A key concept of this book is, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. The second point is believe. A leader must be a firm believer in the mission. If a leader does not have a clear picture of the greater goal, then there is no way that the people at the front lines can have that. You cannot run a company where the people who are interacting with the customers do not believe in the company's mission. The author described the following situation. A new compensation plan had been set up in a company. The mid-level managers thought that it would drive the topmost salespeople away, but the CEO of the company thought that it was for the greater good. So you see, there was a disparity between what the mid-level managers thought and what the CEO thought. So when the authors talked to the mid-level managers, they found that no one had actually communicated their concerns to the CEO. And when they asked the CEO why that was, she said that she was clueless as to why the employees were afraid to ask her questions, as she had always had an open door policy. However, after the CEO adopted the concept of extreme ownership, she realized that she herself needed to be proactive in talking to the managers about the changes and make sure that everyone was on board. And when she did that and made sure that the managers believed in the mission themselves, everything else fell into place and the plan went along smoothly. As a leader, you want to be seen. You need to be seen as decisive and willing to make tough choices. The outcome may be uncertain, but you always have enough understanding and information to make a decision. And the third point is discipline equals freedom. This is the dichotomy of leadership. The mark of an intelligent mind is the ability to hold two conflicting ideas together and to still function properly. A leader must be confident but never cocky. A leader must be brave, not foolhardy. Attentive to details but not obsessed by them. A leader must be strong but also have endurance. Leaders must be humble but not passive. Quiet but not silent. So basically, leadership is a balancing act, and you need to do that correctly so that you can lead your followers and your employees to be more productive and happy. There are a lot of more subtle ways described in this book that will help you solidify the idea of extreme ownership in your life. This book is the key to solving all of the problems that we face today. If everyone from the president to the college graduates takes extreme ownership of their situation, the world will be an entirely different place. All problems in your life are your fault, and when you have that mindset, there's something that you can always do about it. You are now empowered. You can now conquer yourself and the world. I highly recommend this book. That's all for this video. Hit the like button if you liked it and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.